Meet Marcus and Diego. They're both 29 years old. They both work in the same city, in similar jobs, earning about $70,000 a year. Both of them need a car, and both of them, after years of taking the bus and quietly resenting every rideshare surge price, have finally decided it's time. Marcus likes driving something new. He likes the smell of a fresh interior, the feeling of 0 miles on the odometer, and never having to think about what a strange engine noise might mean. Diego doesn't care about any of that. He wants a car that gets him from point A to point B without draining his bank account. And he'd rather invest the difference than impress anyone in a parking lot. Same income, same need, 2 completely different strategies. Marcus decides to lease. Diego decides to buy. Let's follow them both for the next 10 years and see who actually comes out ahead.
Marcus walks into the dealership and picks out a car with an MSRP of $35,000. He signs a 3-year lease. His monthly payment comes out to about $450 plus tax. Not bad, he thinks. New car, manageable payment, and every 3 years he gets to do it all over again with something even newer. Diego, meanwhile, buys a similar car, but not brand new. He finds a 2-year-old version of the same model for $24,000, still well within its factory warranty. He puts $5,000 down and finances the rest over 5 years at 6% interest. His monthly payment comes out to about $367.
At first glance, Marcus's payment looks almost competitive. $450 versus $367 isn't a massive gap. But here's where the story starts to diverge. Marcus's $450 a month buys him nothing. At the end of the lease, he owns 0% of that car. He's essentially renting it, the same way a tenant rents an apartment. Diego's $367 a month is different. Every payment chips away at what he owes, and once the loan is paid off, the car is entirely his. Now, leasing isn't without its own selling points. Marcus doesn't have to worry about depreciation. He's not stuck driving something that feels outdated. And most new cars come with a factory warranty that covers just about everything, so unexpected repair bills are rare. But leases come with fine print, and fine print always seems to matter more than people expect.
Marcus's lease includes a mileage limit, 12,000 miles a year. If he goes over that, he pays a penalty, usually somewhere between 15 and 25 cents per mile. He also has to keep the car in what the dealership calls acceptable condition, which is a phrase that sounds reasonable until you're staring at a $300 charge for a small scuff on the bumper you didn't even remember happening. Diego doesn't have any of these restrictions. He can drive as much as he wants, he can let his dog ride in the back seat, he can spill coffee on the floor mat, and nobody charges him for it. It's his car, mistakes and all. 3 years pass. This is where Marcus's lease comes to an end, and he's faced with a decision. Does he buy out the lease, sign a new one, or walk away entirely? Marcus, true to form, wants something new again. He signs another 3-year lease, this time on an updated model. The MSRP has crept up slightly, so his new payment is about $475 a month. Over those first 3 years, Marcus has paid roughly $16,200 in lease payments. He owns nothing, not $1 of equity. He drove a new car for 3 years, and at the end, he has exactly what he started with, a monthly payment and a keyring. Diego, on the other hand, has made 3 years of payments on his loan. His remaining balance has dropped to about $15,600. His car, which he bought for $24,000, has depreciated somewhat and is now worth around $17,000. That leaves him with roughly $1,400 in equity. It's not a fortune, but it's not zero either. And more importantly, Diego has been doing something else with the difference. Since his payment was $367 instead of Marcus's $450, he's had an extra $83 a month sitting around. He's been investing it in a simple index fund. At a 10% average annual return, that $83 a month has grown into just over $3,400. Now, let's fast forward to year 5. This is where Diego's story really starts to separate from Marcus's. Diego's original loan is paid off completely. His monthly car payment disappears.
The car is his, free and clear. It's worth somewhere around $13,000 at this point. Still running well, still under his full control. And now, something interesting happens. Diego keeps driving the same car. Instead of making a $367 payment every month, he redirects that entire amount into his investment account.
Marcus, meanwhile, is on his second lease and showing no signs of slowing down. He's paid out roughly $27,000 in total lease payments by now across both leases. He still owns 0% of any vehicle he's driven. Every 3 years, the cycle resets. New car, new payment, same result. By year 8, Diego has been investing his full former car payment, plus the smaller amount he was investing before, for 3 straight years since paying off his loan. His investment account, combining the early contributions and the larger post-payoff contributions, has grown to approximately $19,000. And his car, though older now, is still functional. Basic maintenance here and there, an oil change, new tires eventually, but nothing that rivals a car payment. Marcus is now on his third lease. Same routine. New car every 3 years, payment slightly higher each time due to rising vehicle prices. His total lease payments over 8 years have climbed to roughly $42,000. He has never missed a payment. He has also never built a single dollar of ownership. Now, here's where we have to be fair to Marcus, because leasing does have real advantages that shouldn't be dismissed. He has never had to worry about a major repair. He's never driven a car with more than about 36,000 miles on it. If his job requires him to look a certain way, client meetings, sales calls, appearances that matter for his income, driving something newer might genuinely be worth the premium to him. That's not something a spreadsheet can fully capture. But by year 10, the math tells a clear story. Diego's car, now 8 years old since purchase, is still running, worth maybe $8,000 if he sold it, though he has no plans to. His investment account, built from years of redirecting the payment difference and then the full payment amount after payoff, has grown to roughly $30,000. Combine that with the car's remaining value, and Diego's total position sits at approximately $38,000. Marcus, over that same decade, has paid somewhere around $52,000 in total lease payments. He owns nothing. He's currently driving his 4th leased vehicle. He has never once had to worry about depreciation, repairs, or resale value. But he has also never once converted a single dollar of that $52,000 into personal wealth. So does this mean leasing is always the losing move? Not exactly. The math changes depending on the person. If you drive very few miles, if you genuinely need a newer vehicle for work, or if you simply value never dealing with a used car's mechanical uncertainty, leasing can make sense as a lifestyle choice. The same way renting an apartment can make sense for someone who values flexibility over equity. But if you're leasing purely because the monthly payment looks smaller, that's usually where the math quietly turns against you. Buying, especially buying a slightly used, reliable car and driving it well past the loan payoff date, is one of the most underrated wealth-building habits that has nothing to do with picking stocks or timing the market. It's just a matter of not restarting a payment cycle every 3 years. Marcus optimized for a new car every 3 years. Diego optimized for ownership and consistency. Neither decision was foolish, but only one of them turned a decade of car payments into $30,000 sitting in an investment account. So the real question isn't just lease versus buy. It's this: are you willing to drive the same car for a few extra years after it's paid off? Because that's usually where the entire advantage comes from. Subscribe to Wealth Calibration for more videos breaking down the logic behind the financial decisions we make every day. And let me know in the comments, are you a lease person or a buy and drive it forever person? Either way, I hope your car doesn't make that noise. You know the one. See you in the next one.